same. Every situation has gotta change. I'll find peace in knowing that nothing stays the same. Every situation has gotta change. You are and always will be the catalyst for change. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Understand that you and you alone are responsible for your own success or demise. You are the ones Mother Tynetta spoke of, with the ability to create another sun. To my sons, bask in every aspect of your being. You are gods, men, and kings. Love your wives with the same fervor that you'll love me, simply, unconditionally. Knowing that your families are the essence of your divinity, don't ever be an internal enemy. And to my daughters, be your own at all times. Your physical attributes could never compare to the beauty of your mind. Romantic love is beautiful, but self-love is divine. Again, you must be your own at all times. Bask in every aspect of your being. You are gods, women, and queens. My children, live with purpose and the intent to change this world's quality of life. And above all, show the world what God looks like. You are so beautiful, beautiful, and I love you so, I love you so, love you so. You
Well, hey, Grand Rising, everyone. I appreciate you giving me your time and energy. This is Rising Thoughts with PlumpQueen. Well, you guys know I have been a bit quiet, and like I said, when I am quiet, I am manifesting. But when I do come across some things that I feel that must be said, I will do that. So I'm gonna get right to it. If you read the caption, you already know what I'm about to get into. I'm gonna put out my disclaimer. There are a lot of people that are going to disagree. There are going to be a lot of people that feel that I am attacking them. And there are a lot of people that are going to think I am a hypocrite. All those things are about to come. But as my mentor, Jamar Milton, says, just walk with me. All right. So an auntie of mine had posted something about 3 days ago that I had just came across yesterday. I made a comment on it. And I feel like I know why she reposted it. But my response pretty much goes against the point of the post. I'm going to read the post and you'll get where I'm getting at. So it says, women, can I have birth control? Republican controlled Congress. No. Women, I couldn't give birth control, so I got pregnant. Can I have an abortion? Republican controlled Congress? No. Women, you prevented me from having an abortion, so I'm carrying the fetus, but my employer won't provide reasonable accommodations and is threatening to fire me. Would you please pass the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act? Republican controlled Congress? No. Women, I had the baby, but I'm out of work. Can I have WIC and food stamps until I get back on my feet? Republican controlled Congress? No. Women, I found a job, but it doesn't offer me insurance. Can I have a government guaranteed insurance? Republican controlled Congress? No. Women, my kid got sick and I got fired because I missed time caring for him or her. Can I get unemployment? Republican controlled Congress? No. Women, I'm having a hard time getting my kid from school consistently. Can we fund after school programs? Republican Congress? No. Women, I'm prepared to work to support my family. Can you make sure that I have full-time jobs, minimum wages enough to do that? Republican controlled Congress? No. But what's the matter with you and your family that working 2 jobs can't lift you out of poverty? And what kind of mother are you letting someone else watch your child while you work? If your child doesn't do well in school or gets in trouble, it's entirely your fault. You shouldn't have had a child if you weren't prepared to take care of him or her. Now, that last statement was 1,000% true. Now, I understand that this is supposed to be against the Republican Congress and the Republican Party and with all that's voting is going on. But that statement is 1,000% true. Why are we having children that we aren't sure that we can take care of? We sit there and we argue, we fight, we demand things from the government. The government need to do this, the government's supposed to do that, da-da-da-da. But if you are, I'm going to even say 25 plus, you've lived long enough to understand that this government works the way that it does. It's not about what's right. It's not about what it should be. It's about what it is. So you guys already know, Republican or Democrat, they don't give a fuck. Your whole adult life, what has changed with all 40-some-odd presidents? With all the changes between Republicans and Democrats getting the Congress and getting the House and all of that stuff, how has our lives as Black people changed? I want somebody to put that in the feed if you have an answer for that. Nothing has changed. You know that this government don't care. You know that. So why do we continue to put ourselves in the position? Why is sex so freaking important? Why that we can't fathom as human beings to keep our legs closed and our dicks in our pants? Abstinence is never the choice. Yo, AIDS came through. This is a sexually transmitted disease that still exists and that is still killing people. And yet, sex has gone up. People have more sex now than they did when AIDS came out. Why is that? Why do you care so much to have that 20 minutes to an hour worth of pleasure? You care more about that than your own life. You would prefer to play Russian roulette to bust a nut than to live. That shit don't make sense. I'm sorry. This world is designed the way it is. We have to stop putting ourselves in the position to be fucked over. I've been in an 11-year relationship. I've been sleeping with the same man. I've never gotten pregnant. Pregnancy is 1,000% preventable. You do not have to have children that you are not ready for. You do not have to bring these beings into this world and fuck up their life because you think you're grown now and you just have the right to have sex. We always say this is a hyperly sexual, environment on. We say this, but nobody does anything about it. You don't teach your children different. You keep putting yourselves in every one of these positions that the Republican-controlled Congress will tell you no about. You knew while you was fucking that you ain't have a job. You knew while you was fucking that, you didn't have the support. You knew that nigga you was dealing with or that girl you was dealing with was iffy. You knew that before you got pregnant. Now you're pregnant. And now you expect everyone to think about those things for you when you should have been thinking about that before you laid down. We are adults now. And the adults are doing this, and this is why these kids are doing this. They're watching us. They're watching TV. And everything is about sex, 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 sex. The sex sells. Y'all push that. But then you want to get mad at the government for something that was preventable, something that action you could have taken to change that. You don't get to start talking about what I deserve now, what I'm supposed to get, and what you're not giving me. You're supposed to take care of yourself. I made a post yesterday that was referring to this, and I didn't get no hearts and no likes. Everybody like it when, you know what I'm saying, when I'm posting up being cute and black power and all that other stuff. But when I say something that is actually going, that you can actually use to get to where we're really supposed to be going, y'all don't like that. Y'all don't support that. But then you're asking people for help and asking for entitlements when you're not even willing to take care of yourself. You don't want to take care of yourselves. Y'all truly want this government to take care of you. You really think that just something's going to happen that's going to make these people just wake up and realize the error of their ways. Fuck out of here. That's never going to happen. You got to take care of yourself. You have to think for yourself. Don't put yourself in a position that you can't get yourself out of. Don't put a human being, a living human being, in a situation that you can't help them through. Because these kids are growing up to be adults. And then once you become an adult, there's no excuses anymore. Now you're supposed to know what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to act accordingly. But how are you supposed to do that if you're not taught? How many of y'all were that kid that your moms, you know what I'm saying, neglected you in certain ways, or your dad wasn't there? Things that you were supposed to get from your parents, but they couldn't give you that because they're so busy trying to get something for themselves. We got to stop doing that until you find yourself, until you know who you truly are, until you get everything out of your system. I don't care if it's smoking, drinking, partying, fucking, whatever it is you got going on that you feel that you need to do all of that before you have kids. Don't try to multitask and do it both at the same time. I'm telling you what I know from experience. That shit don't work. It doesn't work. And 9.5 times out of 10, the child is the one who suffers for that. Your child grows up to be 35 years old and having to figure out who the fuck she is and have to go through childhood traumas and fix that. So when I use my uterus, I don't put that on my child. That's what that breeds. I'm a walking example of that. And I promise you, love my mom, love my parents, all that stuff. But that's not the point. The point is there were certain things, you know what I'm saying, certain decisions that shouldn't have been made, or I shouldn't have been here. Point blank and period. We have to do better. There's no more excuses of like Tiffany, I don't believe in oops. There is no more oopses. There's too much TV. You got too many aunties, too many neighbors, too many uncles, too many grandparents that done been through this. You done seen this shit on TV. You've seen it in your house. You've seen it with your neighbors. You've seen it in your neighborhood. You've seen this. We all know how that ends up. So there's no excuse. No excuse. Sex should not even be an option for you if you're not ready to have kids. Yes, I said it. I don't care how old you are. If you're not ready, because that's what sex breeds, life. It brings life. You have a whole child. Do y'all not understand how important that is? Y'all look at kids like they're bags, you know what I'm saying, or cars, like they're just these possessions that you cute with. Those are human beings. You can't just fuck it up real quick. Oh, let me go get an oil change. Let me go pimp my ride real quick. Let me throw a couple of stacks on that and fix that. You can't do that with kids. You fuck up their mental and their emotional health at the beginning, it's real hard to fix that as adults. And ain't amount of money that you can throw at that problem. Do y'all not understand how important children are? If you overstood that and you wasn't ready, you wouldn't be having sex. Like I said, doesn't matter how old you are. If you're 40 years old and you are not in the position to take care of a child emotionally, physically, financially, keep your dick in your pants. It doesn't make you less of a man. It doesn't make you less of an individual. It doesn't make you weird. This world has taught you that sex validates you as a person. It doesn't. As a matter of fact, it screws up a lot of people when you have sex too soon. That is an emotional and a spiritual connection. That shit is just not that WAP. It's not just that. It's not just bouncing on. That's not what that is about. That is energy and DNA exchanging. You guys exchanging y'all souls when you do that. This is why a lot of y'all got all these issues, because you're exchanging your soul with so many people. I think it was Tazara Path that said this once about how she made an example about how if you done slept with she used females, you slept with about 20 to 30 dudes. You got 20 or 30 dudes, energy, you know what I'm saying, issues, traumas, thought processes. You have all of that swirling inside of you. Yes, imagine that. Get that image in your mind, because that's exactly what it is. This is why you keep picking the same person over and over and over again. And you can't understand why I keep love must not be for me. I just can't do it. No, you got all types of energy in you and it's conflicting with each other. So you don't know, your body, your mind, your soul don't know what to do. Stop doing this to yourself. Stop doing this and teaching this to your kids. We have to do better. Don't get me wrong. I understand how good sex feel. I understand a lot of people use it, you know what I'm saying, to get away from our problems. I understand we live a rough life. There's a lot of shit going on, a lot of issues. So that 20 minutes to an hour, you know what I'm saying, is a moment in time where, you know what I'm saying, where you're feeling good and you're having some, I dig all of that. Not taking it. I understand. I have sex on a regular. I get it. My point is, what I'm not doing is bringing another life into this world that I'm not ready for. I've been with the same man for 11 years and we use condoms. We have this thing where, once we become steady and once we're the only ones having sex, we can take the condom off. No, you cannot if you're not ready to have kids. Stuff happens. You get real good in the mood, make up sex, all that stuff. It happens. And you can't say oops when you're talking about life. That oops, that's unacceptable on every level. Pregnancy is 1,000% preventable. You do not have to bring life into this world that's not needed. Not saying that it's not needed, that you're not ready to take care of. It's not fair. It's not fair to that child, and to be quite honest, it's not fair to the public. Yep, it's not fair to us either. Because we're the ones who have to deal with your child when they're adults. There's other people's children, other people's daughters, other people's sons that have to deal with your kid that's now an adult, that don't love themselves, don't have the proper training. And now they're putting that on other people. You see how that cycle keeps going? And then they have kids, and then they have kids, and then they have kids. Do you see how that works? So you having these generations after generation after generation of these cycles. And it is hard to reprogram an adult. Once you're set in your ways, unless that's something that you really want for yourself, it is hard. I'm telling you what I know. I'm a living proof of what I say, and yet I still have people that, you know what I'm saying, just don't get it. We got to do better. We have to stop making excuses for ourselves on why we put ourselves in these situations. I'll say it again. If you are not responsible enough, if you are not ready, if your emotions ain't together, if your finances ain't together, if your mind ain't right, don't have sex. Period. Because once you're doing that, it's all on you. It's your fault. Just like the last line in that post said. I'll read it again for those who missed the beginning. I pretty much was going through a line of what women would ask for and what a whole Republican Congress would say no to. And it pretty much went down the line of, I have the sex and you wouldn't give me an abortion. I had the baby. Can you help me? Can you help me work and take care of him? That's pretty much what it went down to in the last line, which, like I said, I knew I was going to get some smoke for, but it says, you shouldn't have had a child if you weren't prepared to take care of him or her. And that is 1,000% right. Y'all know how I feel about this government. You know I give two shits about this, about voting. None of that. Y'all know I'm trying to get going. Y'all know that. I've made that quite clear. But if you live here, you are here. You're still here. So you need to act accordingly. So if you are not ready to take care of children, you see what's going on, coronavirus, all that stuff going on right now. You see what parents have to go through with these choices that they have to make. My heart goes out to y'all to having to, you know what I'm saying, to make these choices. I know there are some people who really want to keep their kids at home, but they really just can't. It's not even about what want, is that they truly cannot. So they have to put their child in danger in order to provide for them. This is 2020. We shouldn't have no more of this problem. You seen how COVID came through. No one was expecting that at all. You were not prepared for this. Don't put yourself in another situation to not be prepared. You have no idea what the future holds. It could be a bigger virus. It could be a better virus. It could be several viruses. It could be you have no idea what's to come. And that's what this year was supposed to be about. To let you know you don't know the future. We say that shit all the time, just to say it. But the fact of the matter is you don't know. You have no idea what's to come. And we, the people, don't control it. You don't control your food. You don't control your water. You don't control your, you know what I'm saying, your money. We don't control any of that. So you have no idea what's to come. This is your God, the universe, whoever you pray to, whatever. This is them, him, it, her, she, it, us, telling you to be prepared and to stop doing the same shit that you've been doing. Life is no longer the same. You can't move the same way you was moving before March 19th. I'm sorry, life is not going to be the same. You know why? Because this is a part of our wardrobe now. This is a permanent part of our wardrobe from now on. You got to breathe in your carbon dioxide from now on. Because of some shit that we have no control over, that we didn't create. And because you want to have sex, you about to bring kids into this situation. Because remember, y'all weren't prepared or financially stable prior to March 19th. Now we in, you know what I'm saying, what is this, October? You still thinking about that? Is sex that important? That you're willing to bring a child into the COVID-19 world? Are you ready to homeschool? Are you growing your own food? Do you have your own land? Do you have yourself in a position to make sure that they can't force you to give your kids this vaccination? Are you prepared for that? Because that's coming. There's going to be a time where there's certain places that you can't go, certain things that you cannot do if you don't get that vaccine. Are you prepared for that? Highly doubt it. So that's what we need to be focused on, not busting nuts. I'm sorry. That should be the last thing on your mind with COVID-19, especially the way y'all feel about it. That should be the last thing on your mind. I know somebody had asked me, that person was being funny, but when I went to Mexico, asked me, you know what I'm saying, what was I doing there? Insinuating as if, you know how they say, you go on vacation, what goes happens on vacation stays on vacation. Even if I was single, and you know what I'm saying, and in the position to do that, why? Why would you even joke about that? There's a whole viral or, bacterial virus going around, and I'm going to have sex or be up in another man's face in a country I've never been in a hotel I've never stayed in, and I'm just supposed to... Y'all care way more about sex than your life. This man who said that was definitely older than me. I get it, when you're young and dumb, you say stuff, but we whole grown out here. That shit ain't funny. I am having protected sex. Yes, I am. I'm an adult enough to do that, but there are a lot of people who aren't, Vern, and that's the point I'm trying to make. If you're not responsible enough, if the condom breaks, Vern, me and my king are in the position. I'm already making changes in my life that I would want for my kids. So I would be all right, because I'm prepared for that. I'm talking about the people who are not, who are asking questions like this to the Republican Congress, who don't have that in their mind. Like I said, I've been dealing with the same man for 11 years, and we still choose to use condoms. Most people don't do that. After 6 months, the condom comes off. Because we're exclusive now. That's my pussy, that's my dick, so we not sharing it with nobody. So it's safe for us to have sex raw because we know we safe. You don't know because things happen. People cheat, get into arguments. You just never know. And that's not even really my point. The babies is my real point in this video. You play Russian roulette every time you do that. There's always exceptions to the rules. My mom has been married for 25 years. I'm her only child. And from my knowledge, she hasn't been using condoms in her marriage. She's never gotten pregnant. So I believe it's the rhythm method that, that they use. It works for them. Whatever they're doing, whatever they've been doing for 25 years has been working. They didn't bring another child into this world that they can't take care of or none of that. My mom didn't do that. She just had me. So again, pregnancy is 1,000% preventable. It's about you being responsible. We feel like sex is just, we get into this whole, sex is supposed to be passionate and reckless and all that. You know what I'm saying? That's where the passion comes from. No, it don't. That's where your issues come from. That shit is toxic, to be quite honest. You shouldn't be using that to try to get a thrill in your life. Your life is supposed to be fulfilled and thrilled, and that's just supposed to be in addition to it. But most people use sex as that moment of excitement. And that's not what it's for. Sex is actually a ritual for bringing life into this world. That is what sex is for. This society, this day and age has switched that up and made it a sport. Sex is not a sport. I don't care what you were taught. It was a lie. It's not a sport. It is a sacred ritual, is what it is. How could you not believe that? When you bring life into this world, when you do it, you make a whole baby out of that. How do you not see how sacred that is? And this is why relationships suck. Y'all don't got respect. Y'all don't see how sacred children are. So this is why y'all can't get that with marriage. How can you believe and truly follow this divine union when you can't even do that for the human being that came out your body? There's no deeper union than that, than another human being coming out of your body. We got to start thinking a little deeper. A lot of people say, you think everything's too deep. Yes, everything is fucking deep. That's our problem. Everything has a meaning to it. Everything has a purpose. You think you just walking around this earth for nothing? You think you was born to just go to work, pay taxes, and die? That's what you thought? You think that's what you're supposed to be training your kids to do? To grow up, work, pay taxes, take care of you when you can't, and then they die. Do you truly feel that that is the purpose of life? Hell no. That is not why you were born. That is not your purpose. So we need to start tapping into that. I know it's going to be a hard thing to do. I know. But it starts with individuals. I don't expect the whole world to now to say, okay, we're all going to be abstinence. We're all going to, you know what I'm saying? What's the word? Celibate. The whole world's going to go do celibacy. I understand it's not going to happen. But the 10 people that are watching right now, what changes can you make? Dick and pussy ain't going nowhere. As long as it's attached to your body, it's there. But what changes do you need to make? So when you do partake in that act, it's not traumatic. It's not chaotic. And it doesn't breed trauma. I feel you, cuz. Sorry, we've all made it. We've all done it. Trust me, I have. That's why I know what I'm talking about. Prior to my 11, you know what I'm saying, year relationship, all my other sexual, situations was me trying to be loved. Me understand not loving myself and feeling like that I was less than because growing up dudes didn't like me. While all my friends were having sex. That's what I wanted because this is what we were taught. Now, I was blessed that whatever and whatever why, you know what I'm saying, I kind of waited until I was 18, kind of broke it there, and, you know what I'm saying, it was kind of far in between. I didn't have a whole bunch of, sexual partners, you know what I'm saying, and I don't have any sexual trauma, you know what I'm saying, I'm blessed, for that. But my mindset growing up was just the same mindset I'm talking about. I got with, matter of fact, my first 2 boyfriends, I never used condoms. I was playing roulette like a bitch because I was so insecure. Maybe it was my first boyfriends. Oh my God, a man really likes me now. So I was trying to do any and everything I could to make sure that they would continue to be attracted to me, that they would continue to like me, that my sex was good enough because I'm not Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, that wasn't her back then, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. Whoever was the sex, pot back then, I wasn't that. I didn't have men gawking over me or, just, trying to come at me. So I felt less than. I didn't feel like I was beautiful. I didn't feel like I was desirable because of that. So I was willing to, to have, I remember my second boyfriend. I ain't had no business doing that. I was blessed. No diseases, no babies. But my first 2 relationships was raw doggy the whole time. I shouldn't have been doing that. There are a lot of people who did that same thing and didn't come out with my results. That whole getting up under one man to get over another one, that shit don't work. Stop saying that. Stop teaching that to people. It doesn't work. I tried it. And again, I was blessed. I could have absolutely gotten a disease. I could have absolutely gotten pregnant by somebody 10 years younger than me. Whole problems had that went down. So this is why I'm telling you, I've dodged bullets. Plenty of hollow tips I have dodged. So I'm telling you, if you're not in that position, don't put yourself in that position. If you already have children, you teach them better. Show them better is what I should say. Because you can tell your kids what you want all day, but they lead by example. That's another thing that we need to understand. Your children do not listen to you. They watch you. My mama told me a whole bunch of things, but I watched her. And a lot of things that I've done in my past, or even now to this day, is because of what I've saw, not but what she told me. This is why we got to think higher. We have to get in a higher consciousness, cuz we have to. That's what I'm saying. Everybody wants to do everything on a surface level. Nah, you got to get deep. Our lives depend on it. The generations after us depends on that. So we got to do better. I love y'all, man. I promise you, I'm a woman. I understand. But what you got to understand is we have to do better. Our babies are more important than our egos. Our babies are more important, you know what I'm saying, than the issues that we're trying to deal with. They're more important. We got to do the work. You got to do the shadow work, as we say. I work on myself daily. I'm always trying to figure out what it is that I can do to make myself better in any situation, no matter what it is. This is kind of off subject, but to the point. You know what I'm saying? Me and my king had got into it last week. And I was upset. And I reacted the way I normally react. And that's because there's something inside of me still that needs to be fixed. Because I had no reason to react the way that I did. It wasn't extra and dramatic and love and hip hop-ish. But the point is that these are lingering, I don't want to use the word trauma, but these are lingering generational cycles. You know what I'm saying? I work on myself. But when in the moment is when it shows you exactly what you need to work on, what still needs to be tweaked. I always self-evaluate. I'm always trying to be my best self. And if it was needed for me to, man, I went years without having sex. Told you I wasn't that girl. So I know what it's like to be abstinence. I know what it's like to get it on the regular. I know about all of that. And the fact of the matter is, when I learn about how sacred it is, you know what I'm saying, the more respect that I have for it. Like if me and my king were to separate for any reason, celibacy off top. I'm not about to bring my 11 or how many some odd years of emotions and feelings and all that and put that on another person. Because that's what I'll be doing. Expecting something out of another individual because of something that I dealt with another individual. Don't work that way. I would have to completely detox myself of him. We have been exchanging energy and DNA for years. We are a part of each other. Why do y'all think old couples, you ever seen an old couple that's been married 30, 40 years, they about in their 70s and 80s, but they look like brother and sister? I'm sure you've all come across somebody, across a couple like that. They've been exchanging DNA, saliva, semen, all that stuff for 30 years and been mixing up all together. So now they look alike. Think about that when you finna have sex. The things that you're exchanging. Y'all think y'all exchanging us. You're exchanging way more than that. You are depositing something in each other every time you have sex. And I ain't talking about cum. You have to be mindful of these things now. Yes, it's going to take discipline. But it's worth it. Isn't your life more important than your right to have sex? Can't have sex if you're dead. Think about that. All the things that you want to do You have to be alive to do them. You have to be in the position to be able to do them. So why aren't you preparing for that? That's all I got, y'all. I felt like that needed to be said. We need to have a campaign for abstinence. For real. Because sex is screwing up the whole world right now. Because it's being misused. And we're not teaching the next generation any different. And it's going to get worse. Because these little kids nowadays, no offense, they don't have the same coof that we had. I'm going to assume it's because TV and YouTube is raising them. They don't think like we did. They don't move the way we did. And we all had our issues and did our things. I know our parents had their issues with us and all of that. But these kids are different. They're smarter than we were at a younger age. But they don't have the discipline to go along with what they know. They know all this information, but don't know what to do with it. So they misuse it trying to figure it out. We got to do better. Think about how hard it is right now, you thinking about switching up your sexual habits. Think about how hard that is. Think about these little kids and the way they move now and how hard that's going to be. And you got little Uzi Vert and all of them, you know, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, all of that. Pushing that towards them. How are you supposed to counteract that? Parents, y'all need to start being your children's heroes again. Your children are supposed to want to grow up to be like you. Not Beyonce or Cardi B or Kanye West or a rapper or singing. I'm saying it's not to knock them at all. But your children are supposed to want to be like you. Because they are your manifestation. They are you. So they're supposed to want to, strive to be the best versions of you. What does it take to be you? See, Beyonce and Tyra Banks and all them, they telling your kids what it takes to be them. And they're eating it up. What does it take for your children to be the best versions of you? Because you're definitely greatness, just like these celebrities. They're just getting paid. Y'all think money is the root to everything as well. Somehow sex and money is more important than everything else. It's a validation. And that's a problem. We got to do better. And if we don't, there are consequences to that. No one is exempt. I don't care who you pray to. You can't pray that shit away. You can't chant or meditate that shit away. Doesn't work that way. You move wrong, you're going to end up wrong. You don't teach them now, it's going to backfire. Teach your kids. Change some shit up, especially with their health. I'm going to say that too. I understand your kids like McDonald's. I understand, they're used to candy and they're used to this and they're used to that. But what's more important? Your child's life or what your child wants? When you were kids, your mama made you do shit that you did not like. And it didn't matter if you liked it or not. She made you do it. Taking that cod liver oil. You know what I'm saying? Whatever home remedy grandma gave you. Shit was nasty, but it was good for you. That's why a lot of us look the way we do now. And we actually good, even though we've been eating McDonald's and all of that stuff all these years. Nowadays, parents, y'all act like these kids are your friends. It is your job to prepare and to teach them to live in the world that you brought them to. That is your job. And I'm not telling you just be Joe Jackson on their ass or nothing like that. I'm not saying that. Love, affection, all that good stuff. But you are here to train your children to live in the world and to prosper in the world that you brought them to. Like right now, y'all all about to spend all y'all money on Christmas because you've been programmed to think that that is a must for your child. That is a part of your child's happiness. And if your child doesn't get this, that, and the third, he's not going to be happy. This is what this country has been telling you so you can waste your money every year. COVID-19 exists. Toys is the last thing your kids need, honey. That same $100, $200 toy that you about to buy, you can start an LLC. That same $300 you about to spend on some toy that they're going to break, you can actually stock off a whole lot of herbs to make sure that they're alive enough to play with that toy. This is a time to start reprogramming your kids into a healthier life. When I was 9 years old, my mom met her husband. I was at 9 years old. I'm talking, my people come from the South. So I was eating collard greens, you know what I'm saying? Macaroni cheese, pork chops, ham. I was eating all of that stuff from birth up until now. So when she met her husband, she completely changed my diet and started giving me herbs. The first one was anybody from the wood root tonic. Anybody that know about that? That stuff is disgusting. Disgusting. And I was a 9-year-old girl that wasn't used to eating herbs or anything like that. I'm used to your cakes, honey buns, and you know what I'm saying? My mom made me cheese grits and cheese hash browns with mad ketchup every morning for 3 years straight. That's what I used to eat. So then she got with her man and then switched that whole thing up. She started giving me wood root tonic and my orange juice every morning in elementary school. And it was disgusting. And I did not like it. But she made me drink that. It was non-negotiable. Why? Because she's my mother. I don't get to pick. When I'm old enough to take care of myself and make choices for myself, then I can go on and do that. But until then, as long as I'm in her care, I'm going to do what she say. So I did what she said. And after the first year, it didn't taste any different to me. It was almost a ritual. Tastes like wood root tonic orange juice. I got used to it. My taste buds, she reprogrammed my taste buds. Because you have zones on your tongue. I know you guys forgot this in school. There's a bitter, sweet, sour, salty. You have all of these zones on your tongue so you can taste all of these things. This country and this environment has been teaching you to only activate the sweet, the sour, and the salty. Think about when you're watching cooking shows. They talk about they want the dish to, I got a little bit of salty, I got a little bit of sweet, I got a little bit of this, and I got a little bit of that. They romanticize food and all of these things to make you feel like it needs to be this. And if it don't taste or look like this, it ain't right. So now every time you bring herbs, even for you take an herb, it's nasty, it's bitter. Because the majority of the foods that you eat are not bitter. So of course it's going to taste not unpleasant to you. But that's the very thing that's good for you. And you don't want it. It's the hardest thing in the world for you to discipline yourself to take something that you know is good for you. I'm telling you what I know. This has been programmed. And you know it. You know these things. But you need to tell yourself, you need to decide what's more important. Your life or your comforts? Are you truly just living in this world to be comfortable sometimes until you die? Is that truly what you're trying to do? I'm going to make the assumption that the answer to that is no. So stop moving in that way. It's going to be hard. I promise you it's going to be hard. Probably the hardest thing you'll ever do in your life, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it to your kids when you change your whole generation. Somebody has to be the change. Somebody has to take that first step. If people didn't take first steps, we wouldn't be here. I would not be on this social media site right now talking to y'all if some of our ancestors didn't take that first step. Was going to be the person, you know what I'm saying, to take that L. Be that person to die. I had a conversation with my king once, you know, about like he understands how sister soldier I am, and you know, he believes in me, but at the same time, yeah, that really ain't his lane. Because he thinks about his children. He thinks about me. And he understands, you know what I'm saying, in order to get equality, in order to be free, you got to fight for that. Somebody's going to have to die. Do you know what I'm saying, to achieve that? The Harriet Tubmans in the world, the Sojourner Truths, the Frederick Douglass, they all had to sacrifice something so they can change the circumstances at the time. Had they not made those sacrifices, we would still be slaves. So somebody has to do it. Somebody has to be the one to take that step forward and to be the example. Somebody has to do it. Who gonna do it? Think about that. I love y'all. I really, really do. I appreciate y'all giving me your time and your energy and hearing me out. You know what I'm saying? I hope this helps somebody. If you know somebody that this, you know what I'm saying, coincides with, definitely, you know, hit that share button. And, you know what I'm saying, just prepare yourself for life. 2021, 2022. These years are about to be doozies, and you got to be prepared for it. You have to be prepared. You know what I'm saying? 2020 was a literal split. You got some people that this just destroyed their existence. And then for others, this was the come up that they were looking for. Which one of those, which side are you on? So again, I love y'all. Appreciate your time and energy. Please continue to support and to watch what we got going on. Definitely have those 3 podcasts coming out in 2021. I've decided that I'm just going to do that on my anniversary. February will be 4 years, that foundation. 4 years since since AMPspirationTTV has been born. AMPspire Media is a year old. So I'm very excited. So we're going to kick things off and get things brand new on our anniversary. So please stay tuned to that. And of course, if there's anything that I have on my heart, on my thoughts, I'll definitely come on here and share. I see that Facebook has now brought back the feature where you can add people to your lives again. So since that is so, if there's at any time somebody got a comment, want to come in, give me your 2 cents and, you know, your $2, because your opinion and your thoughts are worth more than 2 cents. Yeah, let's do it. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want just my voice. I don't know if I've made that clear. I'm bringing voices with me next year. This is not about PlumpQueen, Tamara. My whole platform, everything I got going on is about us. I am not the only one, you know what I'm saying, with thoughts. I'm not the only one with information and knowledge, and I'm bringing my arsenal. So y'all get ready. I love y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, your Woden's Day, and of course, peace and be inspired.